My name is Laura Ice. I am an economics major. I'm a senior, and I went to Brisbane, Australia. As far as academics go, I studied at the University of Queensland. It was the perfect school for Cal students. I was a Cal student when I went. Because of the curriculum, they have a lot of classes that fulfill Cal's majors. They're one of the best science schools in Australia. As far as in the classroom went, I had a range of classes, like class sizes, as small as about 20 of us to 200. Similar to Madison, you do a lot more outside work than you do here. You also meet in class less, but in the end, your exams are highly weighted as opposed to here, they're usually only 30–40%. There, it was more like 60%. My biggest challenge when I was in Australia or Brisbane was definitely finding my own housing, and then just calling people, you're in a new country, you're scared, and you're making like 10 phone calls a day being like, do you have a place to live? Can I come look at it? And then there's the challenge of finding the place. But in the end, I wouldn't have done anything different. I loved the experience because I got to know Brisbane so quickly. Like within the first week, I could tell you how to get places. I knew the neighborhood. Whereas the students that just came and lived in the dorms were like, I'm scared to leave campus. Where I was like, poof, I had to do that the first day. Like, this is great. And it also was a way to connect with other students in my temporary accommodation because we were all in the same situation looking for somewhere to live. So I really encourage anyone that's nervous about going on a program and to find their own housing to do it because it is an experience that I'm also able to use like in interview situations. Tell me about a time when you faced a challenging situation. So it was really great and I loved where I lived, so it all worked out. I lived in an area called West End. It's a very it's not eccentric, but it's a very cool neighborhood in Brisbane. I got to take the City Cat to school every day, which is like the ferry kind of thing in Brisbane. Every morning I get up, take the bus, take it across the City Cat across the river and go to uni. It was about a 20-minute trip total. And there was also a farmer's market every Saturday in West End, lots of places to eat. It gave me great access to the city as well as to my university, so I could actually walk into the city of Brisbane. It's about a 15-minute walk, and it was really great. North of Brisbane is the Sunshine Coast, south is the Gold Coast, where a lot of people go surfing, hang out, go to the beach. So I was able to take the train both to up and down. It's 45 minutes, really easy, about $5 to get there. So I did that on weekends when I wasn't actually leaving. I was able to go to Melbourne. I did a tour of the Great Ocean Road. I was able to go to Sydney, and I went to the Blue Mountains and went canyoning there, which was incredible. I highly recommend that trip. I did the Great Barrier Reef. I saw the Outback. Traveling in Australia is relatively easy. It's also inexpensive. Hostels are everywhere. You can take the bus, train. I took ferries places. I went to islands. So it's really, really easy to travel. I know a lot of people get worried about how they're going to pay for studying abroad. When I was there, I used, my loans to pay for my tuition. My parents gave me some money. I also saved up a lot so that I could do the traveling that I talked about. I did quite a bit of traveling when I was there. I think when you're trying to decide on a program, you definitely need to take the cost into consideration, but planning ahead makes a huge difference, making sure that you get those scholarships, the deadline correct. You can work. I chose not to because I worked all through the school year beforehand, but you can work. You get 20 hours a week with your student visa. I recommend that people look into their specific majors because a lot of times they offer scholarships for people that are going abroad. Going abroad, definitely do it. It's a life-changing experience, and everyone will tell you that, but you don't realize how true it is until you come back.